Hello you guys, I'm Valentina and this is the Spotlight channel. Welcome to or welcome back. I just made a video, but since I'm very excited today and apparently the words are just coming out of my mouth, I'll do this one right away because it's also something that I was thinking as I ended the last video that I want to share. And I think it's such a cool and important thing for us to talk about as a society, honestly. So what I wanted to talk about right now is creating habits that make us evolve in the areas that we want to evolve, and making and creating habits that will put us out there to face our fears. Because when you face your fears straight on, head on, that's when you start not fearing them so much anymore. Yeah. And I wanted to talk about this because I said in the last video, and I'll mention it again, I started this YouTube channel because I've always been the low profile friend. There's those jokes on Instagram of like, you're a low profile friend and you ask them to hang out tonight, but they're in Paris. That's literally me. Literally, that same exact thing had happened to me multiple times. I love traveling, and so every last penny I make, I spend it on traveling. And I used to be super low profile. I never posted anything. I used to actually really resent social media and posting. I used to consume a lot, but I didn't like to show my face. I didn't like to show my voice. I didn't like to post anything. And as I was digging deeper with that concept of why I was so low profile and why I didn't like to post, obviously is never one thing, or mostly is not one thing. But one thing that came up is fear of judgment. Yeah. When I was a kid, I was bullied when I moved. I studied in 12 different schools till I graduated high school. So I moved around a lot. And in one of these moves, in one of these schools, I started to get bullied a lot. And I was 10 years old, and that kind of set me up for the rest of my years in school to be a really shy person. I didn't talk in front of anybody. I didn't really show myself and express myself the way I wanted to. I kept my ideas, my opinions all to myself because I was so scared of being judged. And that kind of fucked with my head a little bit as a kid. And when I went to college, things changed a little bit. I started meeting cool people that aligned with me more, and I was in California, so everything was so cool and so fun, and oh my gosh, college in the US. So I kind of let loose a little bit, but in some areas, okay, some friends stopped by, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So in college, I kind of let go a little bit of my fear of judgment, but it still had a hold on me in certain other areas. And I think also as a child and even as an adult, I always heard my dad telling me that I was a lone wolf, and I was I don't even know. He always called me a lone wolf and cool, calm, and collected and low profile. And so I guess I started attaching those descriptions onto my personality and who I am and my identity. So I started identifying myself with those traits. And since I had a fear plus an identity attached to the same thing, it made it harder for me to realize that it was actually just fear, and that not necessarily I would stop having benefits that I associated with being low profile by sharing my voice, sharing my face, sharing my opinions. And okay, I think that got a little bit confusing, but I'll explain. And what I mean is, my fear of judgment was kind of hidden. And now I wasn't necessarily thinking like, oh, okay, I'm shy, or I'm scared of people judging me. It was more of a like, I don't know if I'll post anything. There's no need, like, nobody needs to know what I'm doing. And I do believe that. Nobody needs to know what you're doing all the time. But if you want to share it, then whatever, And I started identifying myself with those traits. And so I started associating a quality of life that I want for myself with those behaviors. And just recently, when I was releasing my song, I've been going back and forth with the whole theme of fame. And I was like, but I don't know if I want to follow this path. I don't know if I want to do music. What if I become known? And if I become known, I'm not going to have peace. I'm not going to have stability. I'm not going to have emotional stability, financial stability. I'm not going to have good relationships. I'm not going to have peace and quiet. And I was talking to a friend of mine that she's actually a musician, and I was like, why? Why do I believe those things? Why do I believe so deep in my core that if I achieve certain status, or if I show myself and people start seeing me, I'm gonna lose my peace? I'm gonna lose my freedom. And so I started looking into that. And obviously I'm still looking into it because this is recent. But the whole point of this video was talking about like doing little things and acquiring habits, as small as they may be initially, to break your fears. And when I started the YouTube channel, I was like, okay, I'm scared of people seeing me. I'm scared of using my voice. I'm scared of showing my opinion publicly because I'm scared of being judged. So I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. And so I started doing it, and that led me to singing. Not directly, but indirectly led me to singing. And because I was doing the YouTube and I was starting to get a little bit more loose and a little bit more comfortable with people seeing me and hearing me, once I started doing my music and the musician that I was doing my song with asked me to sing with him in bars and restaurants, and we started getting hired to do so, at first, obviously, I was so scared and I was so shy and like, oh my God, what if I suck? Now I'm going to be seeing those people, because on YouTube, I don't see anybody. I just know that I'm getting dislikes or likes. But I'm going to be looking them right at their face, And I was like, you know what? I just got to do it because I got to face my fears. Because if I don't face my fears, they become bigger. And when they become bigger, they become harder to face. So since I already had that mindset and I already had that what's the word? Since I already had the knowledge that if I face my fears head on, the possibility of those fears going smaller and smaller are way bigger than if I don't. And so I faced it, and then I did it again, and then I did it again, and then I did it again. And it's funny because each time that I did, I started getting more comfortable, but also a new setting would come along that would show another little fear that was in there. So a bigger crowd, or a more difficult crowd, or I messed up in the middle of the set, or little things, or I got a comment that wasn't such a positive comment. But mostly I'm getting positive comments, which is also amazing because it shows you again that your fears might be lying to you, and they might be bigger than what you actually are going to experience. So I guess I'll leave it at that. This is what I wanted to say, and encourage you guys to start acquiring and putting habits into your daily life that make you face your fears. Because each time you face one fear or multiple fears, you start growing more and more confident in yourself, in your own being. I don't even know what the name of this video is going to be, but that's a really good way of building confidence. Being able to face your fears and realize that you're good. Most of the times, you're good. And nothing that scary is going to happen. And you'll be able to face them. And you'll come out alive. Of course, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know what kind of fear you have, but yeah. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Build habits that will make you grow, that will make you be proud of yourself and make you confident in the long run. And they will be scary. There will be moments that won't be comfortable and will require a little bit more attention, a little bit more calm. And that's why the other video I posted previously to that, which talks about healthy habits, it's a good thing to have in your pocket, because when you're building healthy habits, your nervous system is already more equipped to soothe you through hard situations, through triggering situations. So if you're already doing that for yourself, when you go and you face your fear, it'll be a lot easier and you'll be good to go. So, yep, that's it, you guys. Thank you very much. I am so grateful to be sharing this message because it's been such a big one for this year, for me, for 2025. And I hope you guys either already have started, and if you haven't started, start acquiring certain habits. If you want to put down in the comments what habits those are, or what habits you have been acquiring, or if you've had an experience that actually, approve of this message, let me know. I would love to know. And that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.